afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Topic Time back to Wareham, the lovely gateway to the Cape. It's great to be back here in 2022. I'm now in my 12th year of the show. What a great finish 2021 had. We got more views than ever before. We did a Zoom show to Australia. We're going everywhere, and we have an awesome show here tonight. A guy who came all the way down from the state of Maine, an old friend of mine who I actually acted in a film with once back up there, and we're going to have a but we had a short interview. We had I got a few sound bites from him during the onset interview I did back when we appeared together in a film, on August 3rd of 2013, which was a while ago, obviously. But today he's here with me in studio, and we're going to interview him specifically and have a great show. But before we get to him, got to read these awesome underwriters, and then we will commence per usual. So we got Pacini's Pizza in Middleborough. They deliver. We got a new one, City Arena Sports Complex in Pembroke. We got Crazy Axes Recreation Center in Hanover. We got Tom Auto in Middleborough. We got Pal's Driving School in Middleborough, educating people to drive in Middleborough and vicinity. We got Genuine's Inspection in Middleborough. We got Hairway to Heaven Family Hair Salon in Norwell. We got MP Sports Cards in Carver. We got New England Floorscapes in Middleborough. We got Pembroke Radiator in Pembroke. We got Studio 53 Salon and Day Spa in Pembroke, 20% off first time. We got the Gun Runner LLC in Middleborough, dedicated to your Second Amendment rights with customers and friends. We got Salon Giovanni in Marshfield. We got Ocean Street Auto Repair in Marshfield. We got Maggie's Cuts in Kingston, and we got DNS Auto Works in Abington. I want to thank you guys very much. And now on that note, I'll now introduce officially Mr. Dave Schaefer, a Mainer or a Down Easter, I guess you could say.
Well, yeah, I live in Saco, so that's just below Portland.
I know where it is. I love Saco.
Yeah.
Saco and Bedford.
Yeah.
You remember? You probably knew Jessica Jake, right? Remember her?
Yes.
Of course, she was in the film with us that day.
She was in that film. Yeah.
Yeah, she was, and I interviewed her up there in that big old wooden building in Bedford, which is probably like 110 years old. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, they're awesome people there. I've done a couple of in-building interviews there when I used to take Topic Time on the road.
Yeah.
And now, of course, I don't really do that anymore because people come to me long distances, like you sort of did today.
Yeah, I did.
And it was worth it, obviously. But now, of course, with Zoom. And so, how you doing, Dave? It's good to see you again.
I'm doing really well, Harrison. Thank you very much for having me here today.
It's an honor.
It is an honor, and it's exciting to me. So very nice.
Okay, and also you're a musician now as well as an actor.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
And I just realized something. We're gonna watch a clip of both your acting and a music video that you produced. I saw that this morning. It was incredible.
Yeah.
But we're gonna have you play a song, and what I'm gonna have you do is you have the guitar on the other side of the room, and that's fine. I totally forgot to ask you to bring it over here. But when we do the little insert part of the show, you go pick it up, and it won't even look like you moved.
Okay.
That's the beauty of great editing. That the man Christian Fernandez does very well.
Okay.
All right. Well, David. So we're gonna. You just go by Dave, right? You always have.
Yeah. Everybody calls me Dave, but my stage name is David J. Schaefer because there's another musician named Dave Schaefer that asked me to stop using his name.
No way, really? You were too good for him, I guess.
Yeah. So
or are you worried that you might be?
He was afraid our fans would get confused, but he's got 200,000 fans, and I've got like 20.
You'll get more after today. I promise you that. Okay, well, all right. Well, Dave, you know what I do with every guest. I mean, I know we worked together years ago in that film with Alan Dillingham. That was crazy. That was fun.
Yeah.
But I didn't really. I get a couple of sound bites from you. I got them from a few other people. But I'm doing a thorough interview on you today. So let's talk about your history going back to when you were a child. I guess you grew up in Maine all your life.
No, actually, I was born in a town called Altoona, Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
I was. My parents had 6 boys, then me. Then they had one more boy, and then they had a girl. So I'm from a family of 9.
Wow.
All boys, and then a girl. And, yeah. So
okay. I actually interviewed a woman who was born down there, too, back in December at my Eastern location.
Yeah.
She's a holistic healer who lives in Abington. That's amazing. Altoona, Pennsylvania.
Altoona, Pennsylvania.
People got their start there. That's wonderful. Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess, but I assume Altoona was kind of like a town in the sticks, like a lot of the Maine towns are.
It used to be a big railroad town.
Yeah, it sounds like a bucolic type of town.
And then next door to Altoona is a town called Hollidaysburg, where we moved there when I was a teenager.
Okay.
And I graduated from Hollidaysburg High School. And while I was in school, I started taking guitar lessons.
Okay, cool.
And so, yeah.
In high school?
Yeah, well, I was in high school when I started guitar lessons. And then right out of high school, I started getting in bands and stuff like that.
Oh, cool. Okay. And how many bands were you in, would you say, over the years?
I was probably in 6, maybe 7 bands, something like that.
That's a lot of bands.
Yeah, I was in bands up until my late 30s, and then I just didn't do anything for a while, and then I got back into music and decided that I wanted to write my own songs this time, because we used to do cover songs, and I still do cover tunes. I do some Johnny Cash and stuff like that, but I just kind of wanted to focus on my own music.
Oh, okay, well, you're going to be playing your own song today, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
oh,
good.
Yeah.
And that music video you did, that was your original too?
Yes,
the
it
bean
was.
thing. That was
Yeah.
wonderful. All right, well, now how did you end up incorporating acting into all this?
In my late 30s, again, I always wanted to be an actor, but I never knew how to get started. And a friend of mine, when I was about 38, he said, "Hey, you're a musician. Do you ever think about acting?" And I said, "All the time." And he said, "Well, come on up with me to the community theater."
Was this still in Pennsylvania?
This was in Pennsylvania, in Bedford, Pennsylvania. And I went and auditioned for a play. I got the part that I auditioned for, and then they used me in just about everything they did for the next couple of years.
Tell me about the play. What was it?
It was a play called Squabbles, and it was about a husband and wife, and the wife is pregnant.
Okay.
And I played the husband, and then my friend who brought me up there played her father, and then he lived with us, and then my mother enters the.
Not your real mother.
No, my mother
play.
In the play.
Okay.
Enters the play, and and so there's a lot of bickering and
Sounds
stuff
like Long
that,
Day's
but it
Journey
was-
into Night. Remember that play?
Yeah.
Okay.
But this was a comedy, and my character was Jerry, and in the opening scene, when they opened the curtains, Jerry's sitting there playing a piano and singing a song. Jerry's a jingle writer.
Oh, okay.
And then
are you actually playing the piano and singing
yes,
yourself? Great.
I wrote the jingle for that, and then the second act, the curtain opens again, and Jerry's again playing a piano and singing a song, and so that was my part. So yeah, I ended up being a jingle writer on stage in my first acting endeavor, and then I actually wrote a jingle years later. I did a jingle in Saco, Maine. I did Aquaboggan's jingle a couple years ago.
I know what Aquaboggan is. That's a sledding company. They make sleds.
They
make water sleds,
There's
right?
a water park.
Yeah.
There's a big water park in Saco.
Okay.
And they wanted a jingle, and I wrote a jingle for them, and it was played on the radio all over New England for years.
So glad I asked.
They might still even use it. I don't know.
They probably do. Now, how long ago did you do this?
Oh, that was almost 10 years ago.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, it was pretty. It was a fluke, but
no, it wasn't a fluke. Everything happens for a reason. I say that just about every show. Every time I interview someone, I always say this happened. This was a coincidence, but I believe that's not true. I believe everything happens for a reason. It's all like dominoes connecting, basically going.
Well, that is true. Yeah. Yep.
And it's obviously led to some pretty good stuff for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, how did you end up going up to Maine then? What happened there? From Pennsylvania to Maine, or where else did you go?
Well, I just kind of felt like I needed to reinvent myself.
Okay.
And I moved up to Maine, and
when did you move to Maine? How long have you been living there?
About almost 22 years.
Okay, so you're definitely a transplanted Mainer now.
Yeah, it was in 2000.
Around 2000. You said 22 years. That's 22 years ago.
Yeah.
Not to believe, but yes.
Yeah.
This is 2022, so that would be 22 years ago.
Yes.
Right at the turn of the century.
Yep.
Okay.
So,
wow. Okay.
New century, new state.
Exactly. There you go. A new millennium too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, why did you do that? What was the reason for moving to Maine? Oh, you reinvent yourself, but
yeah.
I mean, was there anything specifically about Maine that tempted you? Just the woods, quiet, or laid back, or people that you wanted to be, maybe do more certain things that you couldn't do in Pennsylvania, or what?
Yeah, it was. Life wasn't going very well for me at the time in Pennsylvania, and a friend of mine suggested that I come up to Maine and just spend a weekend. So I came up a couple different weekends, and I decided to move up.
There you go.
And
again, not a fluke. It had happened for a reason.
Yeah. So
he or she invited you up there for a reason, and now you know what it is. You didn't then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. And when you moved to Maine, did you make a career change at all? Did you do anything that you hadn't done before?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
My business in Pennsylvania, I was in a family business. They had started some old folks' homes.
Okay.
And I'd become
Old folks' homes,
involved.
you mean like rest homes for old
Yeah,
people?
rest homes.
Okay.
And I had become involved in that. And
Well,
but
to what end? I mean, did you
where I
ran them?
I was
were you
actually
an aide?
I was the actual owner of one.
Okay.
That was it was sort of a money pit, and I did my best.
Is that
to
a good
make
thing
sure-
or a bad thing? A money
a
pit
bad-
means it's bad, right?
That's a bad thing.
It is. Okay.
Yeah,
it means the
was,
money means it's not making money.
Yeah.
Right.
So it was.
Okay.
I had to let it go, and I made sure my people were placed in trusting areas where they could be taken care of, and then trying to get a job down there at that time. The job market was almost nothing. So. So my friend suggested I come up to Maine, and so I came up here, and I got a job as a landscaper
Wow.
and a wood shop worker, and
Boy, that's physical labor for sure.
It
compared
is,
to what you were
yeah.
doing. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
well, to own a nursing. I mean, was this like a nursing home that you owned in Pennsylvania?
it was below nursing. The people weren't nursing care. It was kind of assisted living.
That was assisted living. Okay. I'm just wondering. I know this may not be relevant, but I'm kind of curious about the people that you left behind there. Did they make out okay? The people that were living there?
Yeah.
Okay.
They got moved to other homes
All right.
where they did fine.
Oh, good. Okay.
I took great care of them for as long as I could, and then
Okay.
it was time to move on. But yeah.
All right. So you became a landscaper, and what was that other thing?
Woodworking.
Woodworking.
I did
Okay.
some woodworking.
Which is what people going to be common in Maine. All right, we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But first, we're going to watch a little demo reel and a music video from Dave Schaefer. So we'll hang in there, watch it, and we'll be right back.
It's like this park is the center of the universe, man. People moving around it. I watch them come and I watch them go. College, military, Florida. Just like these trees and that statue, I ain't going nowhere. I can live like this. I can live like this. I can live like this. Well, I'm telling you, man, I haven't got a lot, but there are many people here who didn't get what they wanted. I can live like this.
Hey, what's going on, dude?
Yeah, I need 7 slices of pizza.
All right, what kind?
It doesn't matter, whatever you have in the slices to go thing.
Hungry?
Well, I gotta be all hunter-gatherer, you understand?
Yeah.
Hey, could I get a bag too?
No, we can't do that in the store. That's delivery only.
What?
I can't sell WEED in the store.
Well, I won't tell anybody. I've got cash.
All right, once.
Just
once,
like half an
just
eighth.
once.
A nudge.
Just once.
Fine, just once.
Mr. Chapman, as you call him, wasn't just playing cop. Jason Chapman was a good man and an even better detective. And you, Mr. McMahon, are through.
So, here we're having a baby. Congrats. Just what we need. Another foster. Now, wait a minute, little lady. Let me see. I bet you're gonna have a little boy.
Don't you dare touch her. Do you hear me? Do you hear me?
Oh, look at you. All grown up. I bet you think you're a real hard ass. You're nothing but a gutless coward.
Robert!
I really like you.
That makes one of us.
I don't want to do this!
Fucking do it!
Mother.
to you by Frank's Beans. Taste tradition that doesn't cost an arm and a leg.
Frank's Beans. Eat 'em all. This week's episode, Beans at Your Barbecue.
Like an olive oil with pepperoni and sharp cheddar. A different type of mix.
Hey, baby. Great beans.
Honey, I could just eat you up.
I was eating my beans at your barbecue when the officers came and arrested you. I wasn't the only one a bit surprised. I said, "Officer, now what did she do?" They pushed your head down on the hood and they said, "Feet out and spread 'em." This woman's done a lot of terrible things, and now she's gonna regret 'em. She had a dozen husbands and now they're all missing. She did horrible things to get in this position. We have solid evidence of crimes committed, and you were gonna be the next victim. Heinous acts and unspeakable crime. She's gonna be in prison a long time. They cuffed you and stuffed you, then they drove away. That's how we said goodbye. She was a cannibal. I know it sounds impossible, but every guy she dated ended up on her table in a casserole. She was a cannibal. Situation improbable, but every once in a while you might meet a gal who's unpredictable. I talked to the guy who was minding the grill, and we were joking that the meat was probably named Bill. We had a big laugh at her expense, and then a cop said, "Don't eat the evidence." They took her away into this very day. No, I was her biggest defeat. She got life in a maximum prison, but she never got her hands on my meat. She was a cannibal. I know it sounds impossible, but every guy she dated ended up on her table in a casserole. She was a cannibal. Situation improbable, but every once in a while you might meet a gal who's unpredictable. Yeah, I was always told, don't cuss the butcher with your mouth full.
I'm David J. Schaefer. This is the title track of my album, Americana Divide. Knickknacks, pictures, and signs, little things the two of us acquired over time. Antique stores and roadside stands, places we stop by as we travel roads across this land. Hand in hand, bits and pieces of Americana where our memories lie. The broadside of the barn took a hit. No one can hit back anymore. The road is closer now. It's just beyond our front door. Drive-bys increasing, danger never ceasing. Well, it's okay. Vigilantes wide awake in our front yard.
In our Americana divide, we don't see things eye to eye. Makes me stop and wonder why we disagree, you and me. I remember a time when we were on the same side of the line. Now we have to decide where to stand in this Americana divide. Are the children in school? If so, are they being taught the golden rule? What'll be left for them now? Giving everything away, wouldn't they want to say? Well, it's okay. You'll be long gone and it won't matter anyway. Everything is for sale. Pay for all our indiscretions. Waterfronts, monuments. No one even thinks about confession. In our Americana divide, we don't see things eye to eye. Makes me stop and wonder why we disagree, you and me. I remember a time when we were on the same side of the line. Now we have to decide where to stand in our Americana divide. Yeah, where do you stand in this Americana divide?
Oh, Dave, that was awesome. You got the video, the song, and the album song off the album. That was great. So tell
Yeah.
me all about those.
Thank you very
things.
much. Yeah, the acting reel was self-explanatory. It's a lot of different films that I've been in,
Okay.
and I've managed to get myself into a lot of student films and actually a couple of feature length as well.
Okay. All student films, or did you? Or you were in big films too?
Some of that stuff on that reel was from the big films too.
Well,
So,
tell me about those films.
the one was a horror film called The Hanover House,
Okay, I remember that one.
and
Remember who directed it?
yeah, Corey Norman and his
I know
wife
Corey.
Haley.
Yep.
Yeah, they directed that, and that was really exciting. Ann Bobby was in there,
Yep.
and it's a good time.
Bobby.
Ann Bobby,
Who?
Ann Bobby.
Oh, Ann
She was-
Bobby.
Yeah,
Got it. I'm sorry
she's
about
a famous
that.
actress.
Yep. Okay.
So that was a great experience, and then that's been released to DVD,
Yep. Great.
and and so there's a clip from there in my.
So all those films
reel.
are done in Maine, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Any with Bill McLean?
No, unfortunately none with Bill.
Well, I was actually in the one that he did back in 10 years ago, and I don't remember the name of it, but the one that we did at the Ramada Inn in Lewiston.
Yeah.
You remember? I remember they did a really nice feature on it. The whole state of Maine basically had a feature of people coming in an audition. I had a quick role in it.
Yeah, I think that was that How to Kill a Zombie?
How to Kill a Zombie, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
And I
that was
interviewed
a
some of the
great
people who were
movie.
in that up there as well.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about going back to what you're doing in what you did in Maine. You did woodworking and you did landscaping, which are two very, type of woody-like professions. Obviously, woodsy-like professions in a woodsy state.
Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
that's the lack of a better term of those two conglomerations. So tell me about how that led to what else you're doing with acting and everything.
Well, most of my jobs have been very physical, and then
Yep.
I started a painting business.
Okay.
That way, I was my own boss, and I was able to take time off to go appear in these films.
Oh, okay.
And so that was how I enabled that. And then the songwriting, I'd do that on the side, and then I would work all day, and then come home at the evening and go out someplace to an open mic where I would get signed up and then get to perform some of my stuff.
Cool.
For audiences. I used to do it all the time, and back when there were a lot of open mics. And I was going all over the place playing open mics, just trying to share my music with people and get my name out there.
Just in Maine, or did you go other places too?
I went into New Hampshire a couple times.
Okay.
And, yeah. So that led to I met a bunch of different musicians. I know a lot of different musicians, and a couple of them got very familiar with my songs, and they helped me create this album.
Cool.
And this is my new release. It's called Americana Divide.
Okay. And that song you just played is on it.
And yes,
Okay.
yes. And so I'm trying to get this out
It's a
there.
pretty
and
cover. I mean, you know, and I've noticed that it's a regular. It's not just a CD like, you know, isn't most musicians in the 21st century just turn out CDs. You got a regular long playing, you know, 33 length jacket, and then you have a CD
Well, I do
as
have
well.
a CD as well. My brother is the drummer
Okay.
on here, and he was so into the idea of the album that he wanted to get the vinyl made.
Okay.
So yeah, so we went ahead and ordered a run of vinyl and some CDs, and so they're available online and Amazon and wherever.
That's awesome.
And I'm hoping to have them in Bull Moose Music up in Maine, and so
I know you were pretty excited about getting this out when you contacted me to do the show.
Yeah.
So what are you
yeah.
currently working on now? Just music, no acting at all currently, or what?
Well, we've been trying to do a few more videos for the songs on
Okay,
the album.
that video with Beans was wonderful.
The Beans video, yeah, that's that was a huge production this summer. We got a bunch of our friends together, and I hired a bunch of film students to come out and shoot it. And
Some from SMU, right?
From SMCC.
Oh, okay.
So-
I think, are they two different schools, SMU and SMCC?
Yeah.
Okay, because I actually did a commercial at SMU also 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Got paid $75 to sit in an audience and pretend to hear a piano recital.
Oh, that's pretty good.
It was all right. It was a long trip, though.
I rarely get paid for acting. So.
Well, I know, me either. That's why I don't do it as much as I used to. But,
yeah, yeah.
Okay, well, so currently you're really into your music more than anything.
Yes,
Okay.
we're like I say, we're trying to go around and play a few of the songs here and there wherever I can,
Yep.
and I have a couple of appearances scheduled for this summer at festivals and things like that. So
All in Maine?
yes,
Okay, outdoor stuff too, right?
yes,
Okay.
yeah. I think one of the big ones is the Bath.
Oh, yeah, I know
4th
Bath,
of July. 4th of July festival. I'm one of the acts that's
That'll
going to
be
be
huge.
on the gazebo there. So
Yep.
that should be a lot of fun.
Okay.
And yeah, so and shooting some videos for some of the songs. This artwork was done by my girlfriend Evelyn Dean.
Yeah, you were telling me
And-
she's very good, and
and
we're going to probably get her on the show too.
Yeah, that'd be great. If we
Yeah,
could get
I know
her
you
on.
wanted to bring her with you today, but she just started a new job and
Yes,
she
yeah.
couldn't make it. But we'll get her
Right.
on.
But she's done not just the album cover, but also there's other artwork involved. And my music and her artwork just seemed to mesh really well. And
Well, it's a perfect brew for a loving relationship, I'd say.
yeah, yeah. One of the songs on here is a song called "Fly with Me," and when she heard it, she said, "I want to hand draw an animation to that."
Wow.
Which is quite an endeavor, but she's almost finished with that, so that's going to be released pretty soon.
That's awesome.
And then another song on here is called "Ghost Towns," and we have a video and production for that.
I
So
can't wait to see that one.
there's a lot of good stuff happening.
Okay.
So-
Well, Dave, guess what? We're down to the final 5 minutes of the show.
Okay.
And what a show we had tonight. So,
Well, it was extra special for me to be here because
thank you.
I've known about your show for a very long time. You do a great show.
Thanks. I'd argue if I could. But now what I want you to do, like I said, is to look at the camera and give shouts out to people that are going to see the show, because a lot of them are just condensed. You can start with your girlfriend. If you have any other family members you want to say hi to, people that work for you, students that helped on your videos, whatever, and then we'll wrap the show up
All
with my
right.
music.
Well, hello to Evelyn. You got to come down and be on this show and show more of your artwork. And my kids, Troy, Jessica, Courtney, and Jonah. Hello, and all my grandsons. I have 5 grandsons,
Wow.
by the way. So,
Yeah, I know.
so-
I wasn't going to ask, but boy, that's an amazing. If you had kids or anything, I wasn't
yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
I mean, with all the stuff you've done, I'm amazed you had time to have all those kids.
Well, well, yep, yeah, and they're all great kids too.
Yeah, they're probably in my age range, I'm guessing. No, I don't know. You're probably younger than me.
I think you said somewhere where you're almost 60, right?
I'm 62.
So I'm 60. So,
Oh, so you're younger than me. I
there
was
we
right.
go. A little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
I don't feel old at all, though, and I don't think you do either.
no, I don't either.
You got a lot. You got a lot to look forward to.
That's a state of mind, I guess.
It absolutely is. I know. All right. Well, if you had a good time with me, what I want you to do, I know we're going to get Evelyn on the show. If you have any of those other people that are interesting or whatever, or have an interesting story to tell, or are doing something that is interesting, let's give them my digits. We'll get them on as guests.
Absolutely.
And
yeah.
Now, before we wrap the show up, is there anything on the horizon that you have that you might have forgotten that you want to mention, and then we'll wrap the show up? If not, then we'll just wrap it up.
No, I just wanted to give you.
Oh, you wanted to give me something? Okay, I always get gifts from my guests.
Now, anybody that's seen the video will know this is Beans at Your Barbecue T-shirt.
Throw it over here.
And the can of beans at the beginning, Evelyn Dean drew a bean. She made me a beans can for my video, and it's in the video. So I had those shirts done.
I love this.
So I had those
perfect fit too.
I had those shirts done for everybody involved in the filming.
You're the first guest that ever gave me a piece of clothing on my show, and I could always use more.
Well, hopefully it fits.
It'll fit. It'll shrink enough if it doesn't. All right, Dave, you did a great job with me. Thanks for coming down all the way from this lovely state of Maine. And
thank you very much for having me. It's been an honor and a pleasure.
It has been, and it has been for me too.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad you contacted me when you did, and in gracing this lovely town of Wareham, Mass, gateway to the Cape with your presence.
Well, thank you very much. It's been great being here.
Okay, folks, we're going to wrap the show up. People of Wareham, we'll see you next. We'll get another show next week. I'll bring somebody great in here as usual. So have a good one. Talk to you then. Bye bye.
Harrison spells Harrison. Harrison.
Great job. You still got it.
Hey, there you go.